Here we are on Clothesline, the show where we wring them clean, string them up and put them to dry on the clothesline. Last time on Clothesline, we began with good news. And this time around, there's more good news. World Toilet Day was celebrated on the 19th of November, and India, the country with the highest population of people who don't have access to toilets, built 1,000 toilets. No, just kidding. I wish it was true. That would make sense. What did we do? We built a 16-foot by 10-foot replica of a toilet, had a procession of children carrying plastic toilet seats on their heads, and cut a toilet-shaped cake. I'm not making this up. Unnamed sources said the cake tasted like crap. Okay, I made that up. Still, there was good news in the world of science. Heisenberg's uncertainty principle is an ancient Indian concept from the Vedas, or at least according to Rajnath Singh. But hey, he's just taking his cues from Narendra Modi. And he isn't the only one. Recently, Kim Kardashian broke the internet with this. Seriously? She's probably taller sitting down than standing up, and guess what's going to make it taller? But wait, apparently that too is originally Indian. According to Poonam Pandey, she tweeted this: Kim Kardashian did it. Now I already did it before. Liar, liar, pants on fire. We don't know what's worse, her tweeting or her sense of proportion. Sorry, Poonam, nothing like it. Rajnath's claim, definitely more believable. This Narendra Modi is such a trendsetter. Who will he inspire next?
Interstellar, based on Koi Mil Gaya, says Hrithik Roshan. New ASI study suggests evidence that Leaning Tower Pizza is a copy of Qutub Minar. Chowpatty Vada Pav seller sues Burger King for stealing ancient Vada Pav recipe.
While Rajnath Singh was appropriating Heisenberg's legacy on behalf of India, the BJP and the Congress, on the eve of Children's Day, were fighting to claim Nehru's legacy. So on NDTV, you had Barkha conducting the creatively titled Chacha Pe Charcha. And on Times Now, Arnab gave us Legacy Wars, since it's always war on the news hour. But on headlines today, we had Nalin Kohli of the BJP and Sanjay Jha of the Congress, who decided that since it was almost Children's Day, might as well behave like children. Right.
Mr. Modi today may be the Prime Minister of India, but ask him to behave like the Prime Minister of India.
Hold on, how dare you use these words for the Prime Minister of India, you arrogant fool. Perhaps it's time that we don't see a joker like Mr. Rahul Gandhi.
We apologize for the language that we have used against the Congress Vice President.
Luckily for everyone, schoolmaster Rajdeep was on hand to save the day.
I don't think Jawaharlal Nehru would have ever used the kind of language today that I have seen on this program.
Of course he wouldn't, Rajdeep. After all, Rahul is his great-grandson.
My opinion on the ordinance is that it should be torn up and thrown away.
Then again, he might. While other channels dealt with Nehru's legacy, CNN and IBN stole a march on their rivals and went down under to cover Modi's visit to Australia. Unfortunately, Narendra Modi wasn't there yet, but that didn't spoil CNN and IBN's appetite.
So clearly this is a Gujarati thali, and you can see the poster of Prime Minister, and this is what it says: Modi ji Sydney mein aapnu swagat chhe. What is the authentic Gujarati food? What all will it have?
We have farsan and 4 or 5 curries and dal and roti.
Thank you, CNN and IBN, going all the way to Australia so that your viewers in India can learn about Gujarati food. While CNN and IBN was busy with their hard-hitting investigative reporting, Narendra Modi reached Australia for the G20 to meet world leaders, and he also made time for Australian politicians like the Mayor of Brisbane.
Madhu, I forgot to tell you that we just installed an alarm that goes off whenever something pops up that's originally Indian.
Well, we all know that Narendra Modi is Indian.
Not Modi, him.
Still, while meeting global and national leaders was the most important part of Narendra Modi's Australia visit, news channels were more focused on this.
मोदी के रंग में पूरे तरीके से रंग चुका है ऑस्ट्रेलिया।
सिडनी के अल्फोंस स्टेडियम में होने वाले इस कार्यक्रम को अमेरिका के मैडिसन स्क्वायर गार्डन से भी ज्यादा बड़ा बताया जा रहा है।
State of the art indoor stadium, the Alphonse Arena, is waiting to be electrified.
Here in Sydney, there is frantic activity. At the Alphonse Arena, that will be perhaps bigger than the Madison Square event of the United States.
Naturally, that drew comparisons with Madison Square Garden. In fact, if you were Rahul Kanwar, it was competition.
A tough competition in New York. That was a grand spectacle. And I hear everyone, while we were building up for this show, say, you're going to beat New York. What's your plan? How do you intend to do it?
See, the thing is, we're not competing with New York.
And I see the one sense that I get is the constant attempt is to try and outdo Madison Square Garden. That's a tough ask.
We are not competing with anyone.
Are you competing with MSG?
Not really.
Get it, Rahul? It's not a competition. But how similar were the events? Indian classical music? Check. Indian traditional dance? Check. emceed by Indian origin pageant queen? Check. But the Madison Square Garden event had an American touch. So was there an Australian touch at the Alphonse Arena? You bet! Because nothing symbolizes Indo-Australian ties more literally than a Bhangra dancing kangaroo, except maybe a Kathak koala, or a surfing sadhu, or Brett Lee. Oh wait.
Please put your hands together for the amazing Brett Lee.
Namaste.
Okay. So they had Brett Lee. We Indians are suckers for cricket, and nothing shows that better than this.
I may not complete the list, but I will try to name few of them who are here. Cricket ke empire, Simon Toffel.
That is how much we love cricket. A cricket umpire is a celebrity guest of honor at a ceremony welcoming the Prime Minister of India. Simon Toffel has probably never been a celebrity guest before this in his life, except maybe to some home barbecue. Still, there was another previously unheard of guest who got VIP treatment.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Honourable Prime Minister is meeting Mr. Ramesh Chandra, who had expressed his wish to meet the Prime Minister.
That was Ramesh Chandra, an Indian man living in Australia suffering from cancer, who'd appeared on the news wanting to meet Modi, and Modi's team granted him his wish.
Now, Prime Minister Narendra Modi has reacted to a Headlines Today report on an Indian origin cartoonist Ramesh Chandra wanting to meet Narendra Modi at the Sydney Olympic Park event.
Okay, that seems fair. They were the ones who brought it to Narendra Modi's attention, so naturally, theek hai. But hey, wait a minute, there's another one.
हमारे साथ आज वो शख्स हैं जिनका सपना पूरा हो गया है, रमेश चंद्र जी, कार्टूनिस्ट, जिनकी स्टोरी न्यूज नेशन पर हमने आपको सबसे पहले दिखाई थी, और प्रधानमंत्री ने संज्ञान लेते हुए इस पूरे इवेंट के ऑर्गेनाइजर से कहा था कि आप उनसे मिलवाने की व्यवस्था कीजिए.
Really? Everyone's taking credit for it? We're surprised Times now didn't jump into the mix, because Arnab always has to be number one. Thank you, Divyanshu Joshi, for that spot. While Arnab wasn't in Australia to take credit for this, he recently added another feather to his cap. We all know Arnab is judge, jury and executioner. But now, he's a quizmaster too.
Mr. Raman, as a quizmaster, last time we spoke, you quoted international examples of how individuals involved in other sports were penalized for wrongdoing, but not the teams, right? You said that. And this is your quiz question tonight. Which country was suspended from the International Olympic Committee because its elected officials faced criminal or corruption charges? Name the country.
Well, in India we had the...
No, name the country.
Suspended.
Name the country.
Sorry.
Let me give you a clue. It's a five-letter word.
We had the Boxing Association which was suspended.
Which country? Five-letter word. Charu Sharma knows the answer. Charu, you're a better quizzer than Suman C. Raman.
Five-letter word. Suman knows.
Which country was suspended from the International Olympic Committee because its elected officials face criminal or corruption charges? The answer is India. So there is a violation of the IPL charter here.
If the IOC is...
Of clause 11.33.
There, one sec, Charu Sharma. Charu gets the point. Charu.
When Arnab asks a question, it reminds us of this.
Hello. I want to play a game.
Because no matter what answer you give Arnab, it's never the right one, and he just uses it to beat you over the head. Though there's less screaming in Saw, Just imagine, kaun banega crorepati with Arnab?
Question is to Pinky Anand, who represents the BJP tonight. What happened to the BJP? Why did the BJP lose its voice? Why is the BJP completely silent? Why are we having to force you into some kind of a comment? Why has the Prime Minister said nothing? Why was there no national press conference by India's ruling party?
Except on Arnab show, when you get an answer wrong, this happens.
मुझे माफ कर दीजिए.
Then there was NDTV India's Ravish, who hosted a debate on the recent Rampal versus Haryana police standoff. But unlike the usually animated Ravish, this time he just seemed to phone in his performance.
हाई कोर्ट में पेश कर दिया. हाई कोर्ट ने उसको नहीं माना. हाई कोर्ट ने कहा कि आपको बोर्ड बनाने का कोई अधिकार नहीं था.
Ravish, what are you doing? We've seen panelists do this before. But you, what was he texting?
वो बीमार हैं, स्वस्थ हैं, नहीं हैं, जैसे भी हैं उनको 17 तारीख को पेश करो.
Who is this phony Ravish? What happened to this guy?
जनरल जी फोन रखिए ना. फोन रखिए. हाँ.
Usually news debates are loud, heated affairs where no one gets hurt and everyone goes home angry. And then there are panelists like Sudhanshu Trivedi who never fails with his poetry. Or can we even call it that?
आज उतनी भी मैं नहीं है मैखाने में जितनी कि हम छोड़ दिया करते थे पैमाने में.
अफवाह थी कि मेरी तबीयत खराब है. लोगों ने पूछ के बीमार कर दिया.
लाख छुपाओ छुप न सकेगा. राज हो कितना गहरा, सच्ची बात बता देता है असली नकली चेहरा.
कबूतरों को खुली छत बिगाड़ देती है. जो जुर्म करते हैं इतने बुरे नहीं होते, सजा न देके अदालत बिगाड़ देती है.
तिलक तराजू तलवार इनको मारो जूते चार. ब्राह्मण शंख बजाएगा हाथी बढ़ता जाएगा.
सरहदों पर बहुत तनाव है क्या? कुछ पता तो करो चुनाव है क्या?
But he isn't the only one. Just watch our own Sidhu.
सिद्धू जी, तू शेर ते मैं बब्बर शेर. आजा फिर करिए मुकाबला.
Soldiers march on. Soldiers fight at the front. They don't question the generals.
ओ पाजी, राई का पहाड़ मत बनाओ यार.
परित्रा नाम साधु नाम विनाशाचाय दुष्कृताम धर्म संस्थापनार्थाय संभवानी युगे युगे.
थानू की लगता है लातों की भूत बातों से नहीं मानते?
From times immemorial, men of genius are admired, men of power feared, but men of character are trusted.
दाल में कुछ काला है सिद्धू जी.
आवाज़ खलक नगाड़ा खुदा, जनता की आवाज में परमात्मा की आवाज है. The voice of the people is the voice of God.
पता है मेन्यू की लगता है उल्टा चोर कोतवाल को डांटे.
हमारी गई ताकत हमारे ही सर पे जूती बन के बरस रही है.
सिद्धू जी, ऐसे ओई गल होगी ना, आ बैल मुझे मार.
It's a fact. Promises and eggs are made to be broken. It's my word of honor. रघुकुल रीत सदा चली आई, प्राण जाए पर वचन न जाए.
चोर की दाढ़ी में तिनका सिद्धू जी.
The Indian cricket team just enjoyed a series whitewash over Sri Lanka. Was it thanks to our bowlers or our batsmen? Neither, at least according to TV9 Gujarat, who ran this. BJP defeats Sri Lanka. Is there anything Modi Sarkar cannot do? Still, it wasn't all good news in the world of cricket. There was also this.
The Mudgal Committee probing fixing and betting charges in the 6th edition of the IPL submitted its final report to the Supreme Court on Monday.
सूत्र बता रहे हैं कि इसमें खिलाड़ी वो भी है जो वर्ल्ड कप टीम का हिस्सा रहा है.
Will it crack down on all those who are involved, or will it absolve some people?
But the worst part was news channels giving Srinivasan the Salman treatment. You don't want to see it.
एक बार जो चाहे जवान फिर ना आए.
Millennium Post, this is what they did. They ran this front page story, BJP to ride Article 370 for J&K polls, and quoted BJP Union Minister Jitendra Singh, and the image they used was of Jitendra Singh of the Congress party. Ironically, their tagline is, no half-truths. We wonder how they'd report on Baba Rampal's recent arrest.
Haryana police finally arrest Rampal.
But even we couldn't have come up with the headline the Times of India used. Could there be anything tackier? People died, journalists were beaten, but in the Times of India offices, someone clearly thought this idea was brilliant. We know Times of India tries to hit the youth market, but we have to tell you, the youth are not stupid. But hey, it isn't just the Indian news media serving up half-baked pieces. The New York Times website took half-baked to a whole new level when they accidentally published this unedited report on the results of the US Senate's Keystone Pipeline vote before the Senate had even voted. They even had two versions based on whether the vote passed or not, and left gaps for the actual vote tallies. Somebody just lost their job. Closer to home, the Hindustan Times carried Sumitra Charatram, the Renaissance woman of Delhi. Deep respect. But this was written by her daughter Shobha Deepak Singh. And you'd never guess that because she only refers to herself in the third person. This line is our favorite. Quote, Sumitra found a worthy successor in her lifetime, her elder daughter Shobha. And who's writing this? Shobha herself, who calls herself the worthy successor. I think I'm a worthy successor to Kapil Sharma.
Oh, how low can you go?
Pretty low, but I think he's high enough. To the Hindustan Times credit, they did mention the family connection in their blurb, even if the author seemed to want us to forget it. Thankfully, we have a much stricter editorial policy on News Laundry, which is why you're not going to see articles like this. We believe in news that is transparent and independent. The current model for funding news is the advertising-funded model, and it's killing journalism. Advertisers make news more affordable, but at what cost?
Did you know that a magazine of international repute now appraises its journalists not just on their merit journalistically, but on their attractiveness to advertisers? Sign of the times.
And native advertising, where ads are passed off as news, is fairly common, while the real news is blacked out under corporate or sponsor pressure.
News can't be free of this if no one's willing to pay for it. The solution is simple.
When the public pays for news, news serves public interest.
So support News Laundry and help us make news a public service again.
There was also the sterilization tragedy in Bilaspur, where 13 women lost their lives, and while some debates did this...
You're poisoning people instead of curing them. You're poisoning people. You're poisoning poor people instead of curing them. You think this country will just watch while this terrible, cruel game goes on?
Against the
I'll tell you, is this a rich person's government?
Barkha's We the People show stood way above the rest.
If you look at the numbers over the last 3 years, between 2010 and 2013, over 97.5% of sterilizations that were performed were on women. But on We the People today, we ask whether the lesson from Bilaspur is that India actually needs to review sterilization or maybe scrap the sterilization policy.
That report went beyond just pointing fingers and into the statistics and the root causes of the tragedy. Great job, Barkha. The Drunk Vinod Mehta Twitter handle also received some serious competition recently.
How do you count 140 characters? Is there an easy way? Thank you, I've found the numbers box. It's quite easy actually.
Yes, that's the actual Vinod Mehta who is out to prove that sometimes parodies aren't a patch on the actual person.
Okay, here is more proof. I have a dog called Editor, I make bad jokes, and some of you call me drunkard.
Those weren't the best tweets of the week. Abhijit Majumdar tweeted this. Congress finally begins to debate, introspect. After frank, painful discussions, it decides Rahul should take over.
Are you serious? Are you serious?
Shiv Arur also gets an honorable mention for this. I just love his comment. We all belong somewhere. A star for his wit. Finally, our favorite tweet of the week was Karthik Srinivasan's analysis of Virat Kohli's tweets, waiting for some publication to speculate that Virat Kohli has proposed to Anushka Sharma based on these 3 tweets. And the worst tweet of the week, our tweet of the week, goes to former Congress leader of opposition in Gujarat, Arjun Modwadia, who tweeted this.
Remembering Indira Gandhi with mentally retarded child. Selfie.
That tweet is really insensitive. Just remember, he was once Modi's competition. Now it's him, so not much change there. We also had our caption contest, and the best one we got, this week's winner is Supratim Bhattacharjee. Congratulations, Supratim. Remember to participate in our next caption contest to get your name on the next episode of Clothesline and show us how funny you can be. Well, that's a wrap for the week. If you saw any moments from journalism that made you go, oh wow, or oh crap, write into us or tweet to us. Subscribe to our newsletter and support our I Pay to Keep News Free campaign. We are the change. You are the change, for better or worse. Never do nothing. Stay connected. Stay online. If you enjoyed that, check out all the other stuff we do on News Laundry. Subscribe to the YouTube channel and support us by clicking on this.